How's it going, guys? It's Rad. So yeah, the Monday Night Raw review from last night. Before I start, I want to go off and say, hope everyone had a happy Memorial Day. So yeah, let's get started with Raw. So Raw starts off. Of course, they play a little Memorial Day package, including some of some veterans that served for the U.S. Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy. You get the idea. But yeah, once Raw starts, we start off with Braun Strowman coming out to the ring. Of course, last week, the big talk was Braun Strowman and Finn Balor's great one-on-one match last week. It was a damn good match. So Braun comes out. Braun addresses the universe, WWE fan base. Braun, of course, saying that not only will he become Mr. Money in the Bank, he'll be known as Monster in the Bank. And Braun says he'll cash in on Brock Lesnar and become the Universal Champion. Actually, here's a fun fact. The day Brock Lesnar is going to tie CM Punk's title reign, 434 WWE title reign from like 2012, it will be June 10th. So like, I think it's a week or two, week and a half from now. And the crazy thing is that the day Brock Lesnar ties it is a day after CM Punk's next UFC fight. I forget who Punk is facing. I believe it's supposed to be Floyd Mayweather. Someone's got to correct me there if I'm wrong. No, it's supposed to be Floyd Mayweather or some other guy. So yeah, continuing on. Finn Balor then comes out. Finn Balor, of course, saying he gave Braun everything he had last week. It just wasn't enough. And Braun said that Finn didn't do half bad for a little guy. Which then caused Finn to bitch slap Braun. And then Braun threw him and we have a brawl. Kurt Angle comes out. Kurt Angle then says that we settle things in the ring. And after the extraordinary match last week, Kurt Angle says we're going to start the show with a rematch. As we have Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman. To start the show with Kevin Owens on commentary. Match itself, back and forth. Match ending. Finn Balor would hit the sling blade, followed by the drop kick into the corner. Finn would hit a coup de grace on the Braun's back. Then Finn would hit another coup de grace. As Finn was going for a third one, Kevin Owens would come up onto the apron and push Finn Balor right off, forcing the DQ. So Finn Balor was going to win this match regardless. Kevin would then go in, grab a 6-foot ladder, the smallest ladder you have. So it's like this ladder it will be like the first ladder introduced is too small to reach the prize cliche in the ladder match. So Kevin would strike Finn with the ladder. Kevin would get in the ring with the ladder. As Kevin went to strike Braun with the ladder, Braun grabs it, intercepts it, throws Kevin off. And then Braun goes to throw it at Kevin. As Kevin is on the entrance ramp. Here's how good Braun threw it. Braun threw it from the ring all the way to the end of the ramp. That's actually pretty impressive. Of course, Owens was able to get the hell out of the way and run away. We come back from a commercial break as Kevin's of course trying to leave the arena. Kurt Angle then tells Kevin that Kevin has a one-on-one match later on tonight against Bobby Roode. We'll get to that when we get there. So yeah, next up we're gonna get a one-on-one match between Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax and a local jobber with Ronda Rousey at commentary. Instead, before the match even starts, Nia says she's going to use the jobber to show what Nia is going to do to Ronda at Money in the Bank. So Nia first has the jobber lock in an armbar. Nia then easily picks her up and powerbombs her. Nia then hits Samoan drop. Nia then hits the right drop. Nia then hits a rolling senton. And then Nia tells Ronda she never faced somebody like Nia. Well, she's technically right, because Nia is nothing close to Holly Holmes and Amanda Nunes when both of them knocked Ronda clean the fuck out. So, in that case, Nia is technically right. Ronda has never faced anybody like Nia. So, yeah. So then Nia tells Ronda to get in the ring to help out the local jobber. Ronda comes down to the ring. And then Nia Jax goes and insults Ronda's mean face look by saying that Ronda's cute and walks away. And that's where we end that segment. Next up, we get a Intercontinental Championship match. We get Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins' defense against Jobber Mahal. Match was boring as hell. Match ending, that pussy-ass Sunil Singh would try to interfere. Also before this match, Elias Sampson went to go try and do a performance for the crowd. But this performance, it wasn't really going well because Elias would keep demanding to have the lights more on him and to mute the crowd. Elias, you're not supposed to have the crowd muted for you. That's for Roman Reigns only. Don't you know how the system works? Oh, wait, never mind. That's right. You got buried by Cena, so you have no place in now. And Seth Rollins interrupted it when Elias refused to leave the ring until everybody was quiet. So yeah, to the match. Boring. Match ending. Sunil Singh would interfere. The ref would eject him while the ref wasn't looking. Jobber Mahal would grab a chair, throw it to Seth's gut. That would only get a 2 count. Then Sunil Singh would come back to try and interfere after he was ejected. Seth Rollins would then grab the little bitch and then do the turnbuckle powerbomb on him right into Jobber Mahal. And then Seth Rollins, because remember last week, Jobber Mahal strikes Seth with a chair to the back. So then Seth goes and grabs a chair, grabs the same chair Jobber used, and strikes Jinder in the back with it, forcing the DQ. So Jinder may have won the match, but Seth retains the title, thank Christ. So Seth was going to retain regardless. Then Seth would continue to use the chair on Jobber Mahal. Then when Jobber Mahal was able to run away, Seth would then finish off Sunil Singh on the entrance ramp. Then while Seth Rollins was posing with the Intercontinental title on top of the announce table, Elias Sampson would come up and strike Seth from behind with the guitar, and Seth would fall off the table onto the floor. So yeah, pretty decent drop. So yeah, I think we know where this is going. I think we're going to get a match at Money in the Bank between the two. So yeah, continuing on, next up, we get a tag team match. Raw Tag Team Champions, Bray Wyatt and Broken Matt Hardy. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we last seen him on Raw. Against the Ass Tension. Boring match. Match ending. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy would hit the kiss of deletion to get the 3 count for the win. Who saw it? Like, well, it's Ass Tension. They're jobbers. So, yeah. So, yeah, next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get Drew McIntyre versus Chad Gable with Dolph Ziggler at ringside. Back and forth match. Of course, match ending. Drew McIntyre will hit the Claymore kick on Chad Gable, get the 3 count for the win. So Drew continues to get wins. Can Drew please come in the main title race soon, please? Like, isn't this the reason we brought him back? Or are we just going to waste his career again? Of course, after that, we did get a segment. Of course, Sami Zayn comes out. He's here to make a formal apology on behalf of WWE management and the fan base after his segment with Bobby Lashley last week. That was almost as bad as the goddamn Alexa Bliss Bayley This Is Your Life segment from last year. Like, it was fucking terrible. Of course, Sami Zayn saying the Bobby Lashley sisters were actually dudes. Yeah, from the photos and video, they actually did look like dudes. So yeah, we're not surprised. We're not surprised it was fucking actors. Of course, Sami Zayn saying the stories they said were true about how Bobby Lashley is a bully. This shit again. Seriously? This is how we're doing shit now. For fuck's sakes. Of course, Sami Zayn Sami Zayn does do the apology, saying he is sorry for anybody that got offended from it. Of course, you know, well, we gotta apologize because somebody got offended. Somebody got offended. Somebody got offended. We gotta apologize. Drop everything. Drop everything. Drop everything. Then Bobby Lashley comes out. Of course, Bobby Lashley. When Bobby Lashley comes out, Bobby Lashley first says that he salutes anybody and thanks anybody that's had family serve for the U.S. military. We'll just say military because, you know, there's so many different, you know, military posts like Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, you get it, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, continuing on. Of course, Bobby Lashley saying that Sami Zayn and him should settle it like men in the ring at Money in the Bank, have a one-on-one match. Then Bobby Lashley puts his hand out and telling Sami to man up and shake his hand. So Sami actually shakes the hand. Then when Sami tried to walk away and let go, Bobby Lashley refused to let go of his hand and actually squeezed it hard, causing Sami to fall down. And then Bobby Lashley says he apologizes for what he's going to do to Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank. That's where we end that segment. So yeah, at Money in the Bank, we will have Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Also at Money in the Bank, we will have Roman Reigns versus Jobber Mahal. So yeah, this is Vince's master plan to get Roman Reigns over with the crowd by having him face the jobber everybody hates. This won't end poorly at all, Vince. And for the predictions for this match, for this specific match, I have a special prediction for this match. What would that prediction be? Well, you're going to have to watch the Money in the Bank match card predictions video in a few weeks to find out. I ain't spoiling it yet. I think you all like it. I think based on where I stand with both of them, I think you can get a good idea what it will be. But yeah, continuing on. Next up, we get the one-on-one match. Kevin Owens versus Bobby Roode. Really good match, back and forth. Match ending. Bobby Roode, and after a couple counters, Kevin Owens would actually roll up Bobby Roode to get the 3 count for the win. And while Kevin Owens is on the entrance ramp, Braun Strowman's music would hit, and Braun Strowman comes out because Kevin Owens has yet to get those hands. So Kevin Owens then does a lap around the ring to try and avoid Braun Strowman. Bobby Roode would then block the way for Kevin, so Braun could grab Kevin. Braun throws Kevin into the barricade, then throws Kevin in the ring. Braun then does a couple running power slams. While Bobby Roode was on the top corner of the ring, on the top rope. Then after Braun was done with Kevin, Braun then grabs Bobby Roode and does the running power slam. Because Bobby Roode has to get those hands, you know? So yeah, that's where we go with that. Of course, it was also announced that next week on Raw, we will have Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. And we will have Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode. So yeah, there we go with that. Of course, next up we get another segment. This segment was terrible. It's the B team, who are called a queer team. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel hosting a Memorial Day barbecue for all the tag teams in the division. Of course, the tag teams there were the Revival, Titus Worldwide, Queer Zongo, Ass Tension, and Heath Slater and Rhino. You know, it wasn't really that good of a barbecue. You know, they had like goddamn brown beans, they had potato salad, they had terrible sausages and hot dogs, bologna sandwiches. Well, it wasn't even a real barbecue. Of course, Titus O'Neil, the master of the botch entrance, of course, saying that you can't have a barbecue without steak, burgers, macaroni and cheese, corn, and whatnot. And he even said that none of the food there was even seasoned. That would lead to a food fight brawl after after Bo Dallas would get the brown beans dumped on top of him. And Clear Song would dump the goddamn potato salad. Lead to a brawl. During this whole brawl, Rhino would just still sit there eating the bologna sandwiches, which would then result with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel putting Rhino through a table. Why'd you have to do that? Rhino was just enjoying his sandwiches, you assholes. God fuck. Of course, backstage, Heath Slater and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are both demanding Raw Tag Team title opportunities. Kurt Angle wasn't getting to him, but he was going to give him an opportunity to have a shot. As next week, there will be a Tag Team Battle Royal, and the winner will face Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw Tag Team titles at Money in the Bank. So yeah, and we also found that next week on Raw, we're going to have Nia Jax versus Natalya. So yeah, Vince, thanks for spoiling their show next week. So yeah, Vince, good job on spoiling your show next week. Now, not that many people will watch it, because now we know most of the matches. So yeah, now we get to our main event. A 7-woman gauntlet match, consisting of all the remaining women on the Raw roster that are in the Money in the Bank match or don't have a match. Of course, the winner of this gauntlet match gets the final spot for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So in this gauntlet match, the first match we have is Bayley versus Liv Morgan of the Riot Squad. I'm just going to analyze the match right here. Bell rings. Bayley hits that shitty-ass version. Bayley to belly. Suplex. Gets the 3 count for the win, so the match didn't even last 10 seconds. Next match we have Bayley versus Sarah Logan of the Riot Squad. 1-minute match. Bayley and Sarah would have a small brawl, but Bayley would end up rolling up Sarah to get the 3 count for the win. After that, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan would attack Bayley for post-elimination assault, solving her up for her next opponent. Ruby Riott of the Riot Squad. Yeah, Bayley, you want Riot Squad members? Have this one, you underachieving sack of shit. And with a soften up Bayley, it was just easy pickings for Ruby Riott. Ruby would hit the Riot kick about maybe 2 minutes later and get the 3 count for the win. Next match we have is Ruby Riott versus Dana Brooke. 1 minute later, Ruby hits the Riot kick, that's the 3 count for the win. Yeah, let's have a women's revolution, Vince. And in this gauntlet match, we'll just have over half the matches be squash matches. Brilliant, Vince. Brilliant. This is why nobody takes women's wrestling seriously anymore, motherfucker. Like, hell, you want to prove that the women should get equal opportunities as the men? Maybe you should have had this match be a 2-hour match. Like that men's gauntlet match, like, back in February before Elimination Chamber. But that make too much sense. Continuing on, the next match is Ruby Riott versus Mickie James. This match actually lasted more than 2 minutes. It was back and forth. But in the end, Ruby Riott would roll up Mickie, grab a fist of tights, and get the 3 count to eliminate Mickie James. And the final gauntlet match we have is Ruby Riott versus the legit fraud Sasha Banks. And it was a back and forth match. Match ending, Sasha Banks would have the bank statement in. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan would play interference. Sasha would fight both of them off. Ruby would roll up Sasha, but it would only be a 2 count. Sasha would counter it into a bank statement. And Sasha gets the submission victory, so Sasha Banks gets the 8th and final spot into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So the field is set. So yeah, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown. The 4 from Raw consists of Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, and Natalya. The 4 women from SmackDown consist of Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Lana. Yeah, Lana got in after she finally won a match Only took her 1 year. So yeah, that's where we're seeing with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, the final spot will be up for grabs on SmackDown as Daniel Bryan will face Samoa Joe. So yeah, that's the show. Raw rating, yeah, pretty boring. And very cringeworthy too. 2 out of 10. 3 out of 10 because boring fuckface wasn't on. So yeah, decent, pretty somewhat meh. It was a meh episode. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day. Niagara Falls Comic Con coming this weekend. I will have an update video on the trip there. So yeah, you'll know everything in the vlog schedule for it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.